What's happening, fishing friends? I'm excited to do some budget rod and reel talk today because there are some really good Labor Day sales going on, and what better time to get some of this budget gear at an even better price. And this is stuff that all punches above its price point for budget gear. Today I'm going to break down my top 5 budget combos that I've been using the last couple years. 3 in the casting models and 2 in the spinning models. Stuff that I'll own, stuff that I use and I recommend. I'm not just going to throw random stuff on the screen. Stuff I have here and take out with me on trips. Things that you've seen in videos. So enough yapping, let's talk. About the first casting combo, and that is this one. This is one that you've seen me use over the last couple seasons. It's the Abu Garcia Max X casting reel. I think at that $50-ish price point, I think it's 55 or 59. I think it's probably the best one out there. It's been dependable. It's really good and comfortable in hand. Some of these real cheap ones you'll get, they'll have like a really big side plate, or they'll be kind of big and bulky, you know, because they're not caring about comfort and all that. They're just trying to pump out these super cheap bait casters. So it fits really good in hand. It kind of reminds you of the old kind of Revo style, kind of a little bit flatter, but fits extremely comfortable here. And pair that with another rod that I've been very, very, very happy with, even after having a bad experience with Arc. This rod is one of the best budget rods out there, the Arc Catalyzer. So for this, as I go through these, I'll leave all these linked below. Of course, I'm partnered up with Tackle Warehouse, so anytime you use those links below, a little bit comes back to me so I can continue to do these combo reviews and, you know, get the new gear and stuff like that. It's all because of you all that I can do this, so I appreciate that a ton. But with this one, now the Max X, a couple things about this one is castability on it has been extremely easy. It's an external magnetic braking system, so you don't have to get inside of it. You don't have to do anything like that. You know, just twist it for more and less. Cast really well, and as I said, fit in hand are the big things with this one. Super comfortable little combo, the Abu Garcia Max X. Now, as a con to this, it does only come in a 6.4:1 speed, so if you don't like the 6-speed, you're kind of SOL. If you like that one, hey, perfect. Now for the rod, again, the rod I have really liked. And this one I think punches because above its price point because it's a 36-ton blank. It is extremely common for most companies to really only use a 24-ton blank on $50 to $100 casting rods. Even a lot of the 100 ones, and even some a little bit more than that, are 24-ton blank. So I know this is upside down, and I'm going to end up hitting the ceiling, which any rod and reel review I do, I'm hitting the ceiling. I mean, it's a given. But anyway, 36-ton blank, I think that definitely helps with it. I've used this for topwater, for moving baits, and again, it's one of those that I don't even think about because of how comfortable it is in hand. This is a $50 rod, and this reel nut here, this seat and everything, is better than a lot of the more expensive rods that I've used. It doesn't have that stupid, you know, screw piece here that has like the lines on it, like the serrated, or I don't know what you call it on some of these reel nuts. I think it's like the entry-level Fuji one or whatever that so many companies use. It's not comfortable there. This is all slick. I put my finger here. This is all slick. Doesn't matter anywhere all day. I can fish this and be completely comfortable. And comfort is a big thing. Even though the reel trigger is a little short, I usually like those to be a little longer. Kind of stops right there. Still a great rod. So that's the first combo. And with this in cart, you're just barely over $100 with sales at Tackle Warehouse. Again, you might be able to find these cheaper somewhere else, but at $100, I think that is a stellar casting combo. Okay, for the second combo, we're gonna have to kind of do some mixing and matching here. I should have had all these ready exactly how I use them, but the second reel coming in at $69. Now this used to be a $59 reel, so it kind of stinks this one up $10. But again, with the sale right now, you can get it 15% off over at Tackle Warehouse. And the thing too for them and I think most all companies is Shimano and Daiwa. They can't like put the sale on the page. It doesn't make any sense. They can't like advertise it. So when you put like a Daiwa reel or rod in the cart, it won't show the actual sale, the 15% off, until you go to pay. Like I go through PayPal. And when I go to PayPal, I'll notice it's, you know, $20, $30, whatever cheaper the reduced price is when I actually hit the PayPal payment. So it doesn't always show it on the front screen, but if you just go forward to payment, if you just want to see, you're curious, it'll show it there. But anyway, the Daiwa CC80, this is one a subscribed fishing friend sent in. It's got the white handles. It was part of a combo. The regular one just has black handles. But again, same thing for this one as we talked about for the Max X. It's comfortable in hand, fits perfectly here. I don't have any hot spots or anything. It's a good, you know, rounded profile, and it casts easily with the external magnetic brakes. Nothing crazy fancy about both of these. They're your simple magnetic brakes inside. You turn the dial for less and more. I think it was the Burley guys said they didn't like this one. So if they watch, I would like to have them comment and say why, because I think this has been a great one. This is actually the one I put tape under it. I did like a decent cast, put tape on it there so the backlash wouldn't go all the way down, and let my daughter use it, and she was casting this one really easy. So I don't know. This one I do like because the speed, it comes in a 7.5 to 1 speed. So if you like the 7 speed, maybe you go up to this one. If you like the 6 speed, you go to the Max X, but this only comes in a 7.5. So both of these, when you go to the budget stuff, sometimes they do have a limited speed if you want to choose that. But great reel on the rod. I'm going to skip over from this one. We'll talk about this rod in a second. The next best budget rod that I think easily performs above its price point. They could market this and market a $100 rod, and I would be like, yes, it's a great rod. This is the Daiwa Arid X, and this is a $59 rod, I want to say. I'll leave prices and stuff up as I talk through it. But the Arid X, number of people will tell you the exact same thing. Hank Bass Geek, I know, loves these. At this price, he agrees. They perform above that. Great reel in hand, except for this, or great rod in hand, excuse me, except for this. This is that nut I was talking about where my finger sits here. That's not comfortable at all. I personally hate it. So this is one of those that I do have to switch up my grip, and I put it down here. Not an issue when I'm fishing like crankbaits, topwater walking baits. I already do that anyway. Like with walking baits, I put my hand here to walk it and stuff. So not a huge deal there, but like if I were to pick a rod for like a Texas rig or something, I personally don't like this as much. I would go with that arc catalyzer, because that's just not comfortable to lay my finger there. When I fish Texas rigs and jigs, after I flip it out, I always leave my finger here to feel the line. Then as I'm, working it through, I'll set it down here and then feel the line when I'm trying to feel bite, reeling. So that's the reason I talk about that. But anyway, the Arid X, pair that with that Daiwa CC80, and you've got a stellar little budget combo. And you can mix and match these. I'm not saying like buy the combo exactly the way I'm talking. If you like the Max X reel, you could pick the Max X with this, and I think you're at under $100, 97 bucks if I remember right, on sale. So both those first two combos right around $100. You're hitting above that price point for performance. So there we go. Now, if you wanted to spend a little more, you didn't want the CC80, what I've been using on this is the Tattooless CT. Look for this used. I just picked up one of these because the last Tattooless CT I had was lost now in the depths of a lake. I tipped over my kayak, if y'all didn't hear, and lost 5 combos. Pretty expensive mistake, but Tattooless CT is a great reel. It's the first one in the Tattoola lineup that comes with the T-wing. So if you see that, this little thing flips down. Supposed to help with casting distance and stuff. Some people completely swear by it. I don't know if I'm 100% sold on it, but it is a great reel. Again, just external brakes out here. The MagForce brakes that they have are awesome. I think best braking system on the market. Fits comfortable in hand, maybe just a little bit bigger frame. If you have small hands, this might not be the way to go. But I absolutely love this reel. I got mine used at American Legacy for $90, $95, I think, in excellent condition. Looked like it hadn't even been used. This is the one. So look at those places. That's the awesome thing that I really like about American Legacy. Not affiliated with them at all. I heard about them through Gramps. And they have a huge used market. So look for used rod and reels over there. You can find some excellent deals. That's how I found this one. But another great way to go, the Tattooless CT, if you want to step up just a little bit, if you want a little bit nicer reel with an aluminum frame. Okay, bait casting combo number 3. We're going to step up just a little bit. Maybe you've already got an old Black Max or a Max X or something, and you want to step up to something just a little bit sturdier. This is where I would recommend an aluminum frame bait caster. And I think the two best at $99, hands down, are the Shimano SLX. This is actually the XT, but the Shimano SLX at $99 or the Luz LFS. Both $99 reels, both with aluminum frames. Love both of them. I think they're both comfortable in hand. I personally think the Luz LFS is easier for beginners to dial in. It's just an external magnetic brake system. The SLX doesn't have that, so you have to pop the side plate off, get inside, mess with the VBS brakes, close it back up. I think it's just kind of a pain in the butt for beginners, a little bit harder to dial in. Once you get it dialed in, it's a great reel still, but I think the LFS brakes are easier for them. Again, both comfortable in hand, both cast really well. The SLX is one that I think has probably taken most people because of how smooth it is too. I think it's a smoother reel than the LFS, so if you want something smoother, it is comfortable. Great little reel. And I do like the SLXs because they sit a little bit higher. So you can see this front piece, this piece here that guards your line guide there, sets a little bit higher, so my finger kind of sits under it. You can kind of notch it in there and hold it, but a very comfortable reel in hand. So that's bumping up to the $100 reels. Again, look for sales on these. I think Amazon had the LFS for 75 bucks. Tackle Warehouse had the LFS for 75 bucks a while back because there's a new version coming out. So look for those sales at other places too. You might be able to get a really good deal. But that's the reel portion. Now the rod portion, again, we're going to step up just a little bit too. So for something like a Texas rig, a jig, somewhere you need just a little bit more sensitivity. The less expensive rods, unfortunately, they're not as sensitive. That's a drawback. As you go up in price, generally get more sensitivity. Not always, I think there's diminishing returns when you get to certain points, but this is kind of a dual choice. Are going to be the SLX. I've been really happy with this rod. This one, when I first used it, I'm like, this feels a little stiff, a little bit heavier than I would like. I don't know if I love it. After I've used it more, it's been a solid little rod. So either the SLX rod, as you can see, it's got the smooth reel nut here, so everything locks down really comfortably. This is another one of those rod and reel combos that I don't have to think about it at all. I pick it up and fish it. Nothing uncomfortable about it. It's got the EVA grips. You either love or hate those, but this price point, sometimes you can't be picky. But locks in hand really well. So that's the rod. The second rod is the Daiwa Tatula XT. Let me see. Oh yeah, don't have that one here because it's one of the ones that's lost at the bottom of the lake too. Stupid Debo didn't have those tied down. So the Tatula XT rod, I'll put some pictures of it up. Again, hits above its price point. It's comfortable. It looks really good. I think one of the best looking rods at $99, all the black, silver accents and stuff. I've used the previous versions. I've got, I don't know where my casting rod is here, but I've got the old Tatula XT spinning rod. You can see this thing has been all worn out. Great rods, both the old version and the new version that they upgraded. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those. Now, I'm going to throw in a third choice. As I said, I'd bring this one back. You're like, oh my gosh, Debo. This isn't 5 combos. This is like 87 combos you've pieced together. I know, but I'll leave them all linked below, like combo 1 and choices and stuff like that to make it easy. The Dobyns Maverick. This is their new $100 rod. The Fury, Dobyns Fury used to be $100. That bumped up to like 120 or 130. This is the new $100 version, and I don't think you're missing out anything. This is a great little rod. I've used the crankbait version, so I can't tell you 100% for sensitivity on like Texas rigs and stuff. I think the Arc Catalyzer or the Shimano SLX or the Daiwa XT or what I would go to for that. But for crankbaits and topwaters, the bend on this one, this is the 705 CB, 7 foot, medium heavy, moderate fast. Walking a spook, throwing crankbaits. You've seen me use this quite a few different times. I have really liked that rod. It's got a great bend in it. Keep stuff pinned. You can walk them. It's not floppy enough of a rod where you try to walk a bait and it's just feels like a pool noodle. Like that one. So that's kind of the third choice in that category. Alrighty, combo number 4. Moving over to the spinning rod section. Hands down, I have loved this combo as a more budget combo. The Daiwa Regal or the Daiwa Revros are my choice here. I've owned both. The previous version of this was awesome. This new version of this is awesome. The Revros is a great spinning reel. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. And specifically, I like this one, the RG, because that paint job, it's like a green to purple shift. I know, does looks matter? No. This one has really surprised me as a combo that I just pick up and don't even, think about it as like, hey, I'm grabbing it. It's a less expensive rod and reel. I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't want to scratch it or anything. You hear these people, they cover everything up and like, I'm taking stuff in and out of my truck to bank fish, in and out to kayak fish. I don't want to be worried about like that. And this one I can just take anywhere with me. So the rod, again, sound like a broken record, the Daiwa Aired X. Now the only thing with this combo that I don't love is the grip section. You can see here they've cut this out. They've tried to make this like minimalistic look, and I really thought my hand would fit here and it would feel perfect. I'm usually always a pinky behind my reel, and I hold everything here because my index finger goes up on the blank so I can feel it, when I'm popping my lure, I can feel through the blank, is there anything there? That's how I usually like to work it. Or, my finger here if I'm popping stuff that's a little bit heavier, but finger here to feel it. And this part is just kind of cumbersome to me. Like in here, when I'm trying to hold my hand on it, I don't 100% I think they've meant it so this heel of your hand is supposed to fit here. Mine doesn't fit there. Mine wants to right above that. So maybe it's meant for people that hold it like this. I don't know. That's the only part to me. I've honestly felt myself just barely even touching the back part here and really just kind of been holding it more with my front fingers. And that's how I've used this one. So that's the only thing with this. I don't love that part, but for the price, again, at that $59, price plus the discounts that are going on now, Steal of a rod. I've loved it. Sensitivity's been good because I always go braid to a leader. Always, always, always on my spinning. It ups the sensitivity 5-fold as opposed to going to just straight mono or straight fluoro on here. Braid to a leader. Learn to tie the Alberto knot. Great knot for me. It's quick. Tie it with your eyes closed. Works great. So that's the first spinning combo. The second one, I don't have the new version. Another fishing friend of mine is borrowing it, but it's the Daiwa Tatula XT rod. So we're stepping up a little bit. If you want just a little bit more sensitivity, it's a little bit more refinement to it. It's more comfortable in hand. On the new one, they actually changed this piece. So instead of the reel nut being up here, the reel nut for the new Tatula XT is in back. So it fits like back here. This piece is then all in front of it. And that's what I know a lot of people are talking about, like, why aren't there more companies with more of the piece that you hold, like up here? This one just barely fit me, this old version, but the new one, all this is kind of up here for you, so it makes sense. So don't have this one back. Hopefully I'll be getting that back soon. A friend is testing it, but that rod I really, really liked. And the reel is this Shimano Neck Save. $50 reel. I haven't had any issues with mine. I know there's going to be people comment below and say, why spend the money on that? Why not get a Vanford or, you know, something like this? Sure, you could, but that defeats the whole purpose of being on a budget. You know, some people only can get out and fish once a month. So does it make sense for them to spend, you know, $500 on a combo? Probably not. The other part of, you know, if you're buying budget gear and you just don't fish as much, it's not going to wear out as quickly. Well, hey, if you're one of these tough guys in Florida that always catches 10-pound fish, sure, I get it. Maybe it makes more sense if you're fishing a lot to do that. But for us, just mere mortal, us peasants, this has done fine for me. I think everything from 1 to 4-pound bass. I don't know that I've caught a 5-pound or bigger on this, but has handled all that good. And really the big thing with the spinning reel is your drag. Does the drag work? On this, it's worked fine. I don't know off the top of my head what this one is, if it's got carbon, if it's a felt or something. It's honestly a really cheap upgrade. For $8, you can get a carbon fiber drag washer. Not quite as smooth as some of the felt and some of the other materials, but extremely tough. Put just a touch of grease on there. It does help smooth that all up. So there we go. That's the second one, the Shimano Neck Save paired with the Daiwa Tatula XT. So comment below and listen. Hopefully this helped you out if you're looking for some budget gear. I haven't done one like this for a long time. Again, in closing, I know we're going to have people say, I could go to Temu and some of these other places and find a $20 reel. Yeah, you can, but you're probably not going to be happy with it for very long. A lot of those are just straight junk. Even a lot of these things you see on Amazon are just junk reels. So these are ones, again, that I have used. I've put plenty of time in with them. I don't think you will be disappointed. So again, I'll link everything below, but I also want to hear from all of you. What are some of your favorite budget combos? If you've got one that I haven't talked about on here, leave it below. Maybe it might start conversations between you and somebody else like, oh, I was actually looking at that one. And they have questions. You all do a great job at helping each other down below in the comments because, listen, I don't know everything. This is just kind of my opinion from what I've done. I'm not always right, so if you all can help each other out down below, I appreciate that a lot. Now, subscribe, fishing friend. Today, we're giving a hats off to Alan Bontmasi. He just recently commented on the unboxing that I did. Said, I agree, Debo, Yamamoto baits are hard to beat. Really like the small popper walking bait. Love Topwater. Well, Alan, I completely agree. Topwater is very hard to beat. And those little Yamamoto baits, I think he was talking about the little covert crawl looking thing, are pretty sick looking in the water. I know Yamamotos don't hold up the best, but there's a reason for that. They have a whole different fall rate, salt rate. So you kind of got to weigh that. But anyway, we're off on a tangent. Thank you all for watching. I love you. And until next time.